1110 KBND Radio News Time is 5:05 and a very good Friday afternoon. I'm Dave Adams. Let's go to the news center and check in with Kelly Blyer.
Good evening. Our top story.
No more deportations! No more deportations! No more!
75 immigration protesters converged on Congressman Greg Walden's Bend office at noon today. Group leader Francisco Lopez wants humane immigration laws.
In the bill, the proposed legislation is talking about up to 6 years before they can even apply for permanent residency. But in the meantime, they need to prove that they have good moral character, they have paid back their taxes, and they are working.
About 10 opponents to Lopez's position. One of those was Lucy Brackett of Bend.
People here legally, of course they should be granted the same services and opportunity as we do. However, if they're here illegally, absolutely not.
A Walden staff member says the congressman supports the right for both sides to publicly have their say and that he will look at any proposed legislation and judge it on its merits. The Oregon legislature will not take up any changes to the kicker this session. The governor wanted lawmakers to consider changes to help build up a rainy day fund for the state. But Representative Judy Stegler says the timing wasn't right for the discussion.
This isn't the appropriate time to get into that issue. I think everybody recognizes that, ultimately we need to have a bigger discussion about our revenue structure, issues of stability and adequacy, that those are all very, very important. But right now our focus is on jobs.
Representative Stigler expects the issue of changing the kicker will come up again. Oregon's kicker law refunds taxpayers a rebate when revenue collections are more than 2% above projections. Representative Greg Walden is visiting Central Oregon next week. 1110 KBND's Julia Gray tells us more.
Greg Walden, fresh off an appointment as House Republican Leadership Chairman, is visiting Bend, Sisters, and Prineville on Tuesday. His talks will focus on job creation and economic development. Walden will be meeting with a group of local World War II veterans in Sisters Tuesday morning at the Sisters Coffee Company. Then he'll travel to Meadow Lakes Golf Club in Prineville to address the Crook County Rotary Club at noon. Finally, later Tuesday afternoon, he'll attend a roundtable of the Bend Chamber of Commerce where he's planning to deliver a congressional update. Julia Gray, 1110 KBND Radio News.
$100,000 in federal funds will help pave the way for a commercial kitchen for the Bend shelter. Last night, city officials awarded the shelter about $100,000 in community block grant monies. Managing director of the Bethlehem Inn, Chris Clohart, says currently meals will be prepared off-site, and this money will help them serve the local community.
These monies from the federal government, we think, will do a wonderful job of jump-starting this process for us, allowing us to get a building, allow us to start talking about design options, allowing us to start going to donors and saying, this is what we need next. So we're just very excited and very thankful.
The shelter will have to raise money to outfit the dining room and kitchen. The Bethlehem Inn currently serves about 65 people per meal. Sin in the Sagebrush is the newest exhibit at the High Desert Museum. The grand opening will be tomorrow, but museum president Jane Ann Upp says they have a sneak preview with museum members Thursday night, and the place was packed.
I think the title certainly was a little bit of a draw, Sin in the Sagebrush. But overall, I think it was just a compelling look at early life here in the high desert and on the western frontier.
Upp says the exhibit is very interactive with live, authentic portrayals of people working in establishments common in Central Oregon in the 1800s. You could be invited to participate in a poker game or chuck-a-luck with the sporting men, even showing you how to cheat. Bordellos were also a part of the landscape, and you could, in a family-friendly way, find out how these women survived. Sin in the Sagebrush will be at the High Desert Museum until late September. Oregon State Police are asking for your help in finding out who has been cutting down trees along Highway 26 near Sandy. OSP Lieutenant Greg Hastings says the trees are purposely cut to fall onto the roadway, creating hazards and at times causing crashes. Hastings says the trees aren't big, but big enough to create driving problems. A published report says there have been at least 4 separate incidents in the last 2 weeks. They estimate the cutting occurred around 11 p.m. If you have any information about the cuttings, please call the Oregon State Police. For more details on these stories, go to yournews.com. I'm Kelly Blyer, 1110 KBND Radio News.